Oleg Orlov was one of 16 people released from Russian jails this month, and among them being Evan Gershkovich and Vladimir Karamurza. But Orlov is interesting because he was serving a 2.5-year sentence for denouncing Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And speaking to The Independent in Berlin, where he's been recovering, he talks about the cruel conditions of detention that he endured, 12 people sharing a single cell with only 10 beds, and the possibility of Putin's replacement. And he says that following the Kursk incursion, there's a small crack in Russia's defences, and it could get bigger, and it could lead to problems for Putin's regime. He says it's quite possible that an army commander might try and get rid of the president if the Kursk situation worsens, but any military leader bold enough to do this, he says, could be yet more extreme in his methods and ambitions. In the meantime, can I point you to these 6 mug designs and going down them right at the bottom? You see over here is the Sir Rees mug, and then there's a little thing for my film work. This is a little turkey that is sort of trademark of mine, and above that is President Putin in the Smeg fridge. On the other side, down at the bottom, is Nicola Sturgeon as Mary Poppins, clearly finding an umbrella more useful than a camper van. Then Prince Harry, give Harry a hug. And at the top, the person who probably is immediately forgettable, Matt Hancock, in a stationary drawer, a set of drawers rather than a stationary cupboard, but the stationary cupboard. Maybe I'll do another picture of him in the stationary cupboard as well. Let's make this stationary cupboard move! Ooh, and a pencil comes with 2 ends, one with a rubber for erasure! We have to erase Baroness Moon. Or is it Baroness Moan? From the history books. Well, I don't suppose that's going to happen, but I think unfortunately Matt Hancock has probably already been forgotten. So I think this mug, which was designed in March, is already a redundant mug, but it might serve its purpose and find its place in the dishwasher. Who knows? But these things are now on sale. I think at some point there's a possibility I can have a little banner underneath these videos with a range of merchandise. I don't know quite how to do that yet. It took me 5 hours yesterday to even get to this point. But nightmare bureaucracy from YouTube, and but there's a link underneath here which will take you to a point of sale. And in the meantime, I will try and make this more accessible as time goes by. But these mugs retail, I think, at £12 each, and I do encourage you to collect them all. There'll be more coming. There's I'm working on a mug of Kwasi Kwarteng, of course, whose prodigious package was much admired by Liz Truss. I've been trying to draw Liz Truss. I find her very difficult, oddly. And so she might appear as well. And David Lammy, and there's quite an interesting picture of Starmer and Sunak, with Farage coming up between them on the River Thames, and there's a few more politicians lurking around the place. I've been drawing a series of pictures based on the design work of Mary Poppins and the wonderful work of of Ellenshaw, Peter Ellenshaw, who designed so many of the paintings on which Mary Poppins, the look of Mary Poppins was based. And so I've been reproducing those paintings and peopling them with ridiculous politicians. All of this is part of a much bigger plan, because I'm trying to work up a sort of 30-minute traditional animated film, which I hope will see the light of day for Christmas. Probably not this coming Christmas. Probably the next Christmas at the very earliest. Animation takes forever, as people probably know. And I thought I'd been doing rather well recently, but I've really not managed much more than about 40 seconds of animation over the summer. And I seem to have been working very hard. Anyway, please buy a mug and think carefully about Mr. Putin's future. As you know, I think that rather like Schrodinger's cat, he's in a fridge, and that's the end of him, really. But the alternatives could be so much worse.